Hello, my queens. It's your Empress Divine, Miss Tasha Turner herself. Welcome to Queendom Come. I'm back with another Summer 2018 Revelations reading. This reading will be for Taurus. I've done Cancer, Pisces, Scorpio, Libra, Gemini. This is Taurus. Next is Virgo, Sagittarius, Leo, Aries, Aquarius, Capricorn. All right, so let's get on into it. I did the shuffling and stuff off camera for the sake of time, because once I get to talking, it will probably take up the whole 33 minutes or whatever that I have to do the video. So I want to get on into it. I'm fucking with the way this spotlight is sitting on the kid. I figured out the perfect position, so I think I'm going to keep my spotlight there. Yeah, this looks good on me. This is perfect. Not too much of a shadow. Everything sits good. That's that Taurus energy where I start noticing little stuff. Twin booty is a thing of beauty. All right. Summer 2018. What do you have to reveal to Taurus for Summer 2018, Spirit? I ask for our Ascended Masters and Spirit Guides. Also our higher selves and loved ones who have transitioned on to reach back with the spirit of love and truth and give us clear insight on what's going on in Summer 2018 for Taurus. I'll be pulling 3 cards, one for June 21st through July 21st, one for July 22nd through August 22nd, and one for August 23rd through September 23rd. Spirit, give us messages of truth, accuracy, that shed some light into the lives of Taurus. I'm not accepting no drops, straight pulls, only reading reversals. Make it plain, make it clear, make it plain, make it clear. Okay. For the first part of summer, we have the Queen of Swords. The second part of summer, we have the Page of Pentacles. Third part of summer, we have Death. All those noises you're hearing in the background are the children. Okay. First part of summer, we're dealing with the Queen of Swords energy. I will pull clarifiers to just get some more insight onto that. But just on first glance, like an overall, you know, look at the energy. This is like really being focused, being convinced. You're holding an idea in your mind, not afraid to exert yourself if needed, but pretty much just being confident in your belief. You're very firm in your stance. Stubborn, if you will. I'm pretty sure that's not anything new for a Taurus. The second part of summer, we have the Page of Pentacles. Again, I'll pull clarifiers to see if it's talking about you or someone else, or maybe just the energy that's around you in the second part of summer. This is like slow moving offers, opportunities that are maybe slowly getting off the ground, or it can be someone moving slow. Not to say that they're not dependable, but just really, really slow. That could be Taurus energy, so that could be you also. Then we have the Death card. That's the Scorpio card, which is opposite Taurus. When we deal with opposites in astrology, a lot of people think that you're just, you know, you just think the typical, they're polar opposites, so they're nothing alike. The way I see it is that it's the same thing, just expressed in 2 totally different ways. Like, let's just take like the second house, the Taurus house. It's about like your resources. Then you get to the 8th house, Scorpio, other people's resources. Still about resources. It's just expressed differently. The resources, you know, concerning the way you like things to be, the way you like your earthly realm to look. And then there's Scorpio, who's focused on how other people, you know, other people's aesthetics. You know, there's a big focus on how other people do things compared to themselves, rather than focusing on their own selves and how they do things themselves, like Taurus do. Taurus could be seen as selfish. Scorpio could be seen as nosy. You know, that's how I feel about opposites. I said all that to say that. That's how I feel about opposites. And death is the Scorpio card. I will show the cards when I really get into it. Right now, I'm just kind of giving you some general themes here. First part of summer is being stubborn about an idea or confident about an idea. Really sticking to your guns, you know. Not being afraid to sit in your truth. In the second part of summer, slow moving offers or things picking up pace slowly but surely. Maybe in the very beginning stages, but things are picking up slowly but surely. For the third part of the summer, we have the death card. So it's like the sun is setting on something. It's like the nearing the end of a chapter. It's not fully done yet, but it is dying. Something is losing energy. It's losing its vibrance. We'll see if it's a good or bad thing depending on how these cards come across as clarifiers. So I'll go ahead and clarify the Queen of Swords. Spirit, give us a message of clarification for the Queen of Swords. Energy for Taurus's first part of summer. We have the Six of Staffs, King of Staffs, and the Seven of Swords. Let's clarify the Page of Pentacles. What is the meaning behind the Page of Pentacles? The Three of Swords, Four of Staffs, Ten of Staffs. And staffs are just wands. If you're, you know, a regular in the tarot community, you'll usually just hear wands. Not, Jonah, we're not going to, no. Because you be here all night talking about don't touch, don't touch. We ain't going to start that. Okay, let's clarify the death card. Let's clarify the death card. Alright, we have the Five of Coins, the Lovers, and the Four of Swords. Alright, so let's really get into this. Hold on, y'all. Okay, had to get some order in this thing, get some quietness. All right. For the first part of summer, under that Queen of Swords energy, when you're stubborn about something, holding on to something, standing in your truth, it's that card here. I feel like you're inspired by something, and this is an idea that you're not going to let go of. It's not just some fleeting thought. I feel like it's something that you're very sure about, very focused on. You really thought it through. You've probably done your research. So it's like you're sitting in almost an expectation of seeing whatever this is come to fruition because you're holding on to that thought in your mind. Or just having to speak out your truth, you know, defend yourself even maybe. The Six of Staff energy is what gives me that energy of like having to defend yourself. This is like going towards something like you being a leader. It's not just you that is a part of this idea or, you know, mentality or whatever. It's like a group of you, you know, a nice little squad. And you could be like the front person, the head man, or the person who came up with the idea or whatever. And I feel like you'll be presenting this idea before somebody who is like someone in a high position. Like you and your squad, your team or whatever, like y'all gonna be presenting this idea. You may be like submitting proposals at this time. You could be having like real presentations, pitching an idea for a business. I feel like it's something like that. And you may have some people who may quite not understand where it is that you're coming from. They may not get your angle. They may not get the benefit of what you're talking about. They may not understand your leverage. They may not, you know, be familiar. They may not be able to really get your projections. You know, the things that you're telling them is not going to be just like, you know, they just easily believe you. whatever it is. It doesn't have to be like a business type of thing. You could be, you know, trying to reconcile with somebody, because that 6 does embody, like, you know, familiarities and people from your past. That's that energy that comes from the 6. So you could be going back to like reconcile with somebody, and they could be sitting like, you kind of like with a stern, like, I don't play that shit type of, you know, demeanor. Like, you see how this person is charging forth with the squad. So you have people behind you who may be like hyping you up to go do this thing, to go approach this person, to go reconcile. But you sitting in front of this like king of staffs energy, and they looking at you like, what you coming with? Why are you back here? What's going on? Like, it's real feisty. Like, feisty is kind of a word that people associate with women. Even though this is a king, you know, a man can still be, I mean, I guess in a man's, for like in regards to a man, feisty would be more like intimidating, maybe. Like, if they real like cut and dry with you, and they all about action, and they ain't really trying to hear that talk. They're just trying to see what you coming with. Like, why are you here? Cut to the chase. You know, that's the type of energy. Like, he's sitting up like, what's going on? So whoever you're approaching, if you're going like back before a man, you know, since I do read for the divine feminine, if you're going back like before someone that maybe you had broken up with, like an ex or something, then he may be looking at you crazy, like looking at you sideways, like, what you want? What you back for? But I feel like if that's the case, and that 7 of Swords is like feeling like you need to defend yourself. But I feel like this person and that person is like pretty much the same. That blue is making me feel like this is the same person. It's like you're approaching him. Once you get to this person, they looking at you like, what you want? Like, they may not receive you the way you want to be received. And that can leave you feeling like, you know, dang, like I got a lot of work to do. I have to really defend myself. Like, sheesh. Or they may feel like maybe you're not coming in being 100% with them. Like, they may see you coming in with this squad of people. You may have people on your side. You may, you know, have his family. This family might like you. And they may be trying to support you and be like, you know, man, just go talk to them. Tell them, you know, blase, trying to give you hints on how you should go approach this person. And he's sitting up here like, I don't give a damn what they say, what you want. I don't know what you did, Taurus, but it's going to be hard to like kind of sway him like that. Because in the back of his mind, you see this card is behind, you know, behind him, behind his head. In the back of his mind is like, however you coming, he feel like you coming with some bull. Like, maybe in the past you weren't quite ready to take things as fast as he wanted to take them. Because the King of Swords moves fairly quickly. Like, that's not to say that he's just going to be like some hit it and quit it type guy. It's possible, but he's just somebody who moves quickly. And maybe you weren't with it at the time. So however it is that you're coming back to this person, in the back of their mind is just like, okay, they want to play games. They want to bullshit. They think you have hidden motives. It's not beyond me to, or beyond Taurus, I should say, to have a hidden motive or to try to do things, you know, in a sneaky way. So they may be rightfully so looking at you, you know, in an odd way. Even if you have people behind you supporting you and saying good things about you, they may see the real you. They may see through you. But I still feel like you're committed to proving to them that maybe you're not the person that you were before. Or maybe you want to come with some honesty and some truth instead of, you know, like playing games or trying to, you know, play them to the left or being sideways. I feel like this time you're trying to actually cut through all of that and really build something with this person. So that's the energy that I've been getting for the first part of the summer, June 21st, which would be today, the solstice, through July 21st. The second half, July 22nd through August 22nd, we have the Page of Pentacles, which is like slow moving progress. So maybe something is happening here where this person is deciding to maybe give you a little chance. And it's going to move slow because the pain is still fresh. Like, whatever you did to this person, Taurus, however you you know, treated this person before you decided to come back in, you know, with your revamped and revised ways, like it's still on the back of their mind. It's definitely still in the back of their mind. Like, they remember this very freshly. It's fresh wounds. You know, they're still very emotional about it. Emotional about what you guys, or what they thought you may have had. Because that Seven of Swords can also be like, you know, deception. And maybe they feel like that's what you did. Like, maybe you deceived them in some way. But this is what they were, you know, expecting. They have that heartbreak, and they have such a foul taste in their mouth, you know, a bad taste in their mouth about it, because they had really high expectations of this. Like, they really wanted the best. Like, they wanted a lot from this situation, you know. And it's like, as much as they were trying to get it, I don't feel like you were helping them. Like, whatever they may have really been trying to move fast. To you, it may have felt like they were moving fast because Taurus like to kind of trot along and do their own thing at their own pace. To you, it may have felt like he was moving too fast. But to him, it's like, I'm carrying all this weight. Like, can you help me? Can you help me? Tell me what you want from me. I'll put that in the energy playlist. But yeah, it's like they wanted some help. Like, I'm carrying all the weight. Can you give me a hand? You know, you're gonna see me struggling trying to hold this thing up, trying to hold up this, you know, this image of us. And not even just the image, trying to hold up this dynamic between us all by themselves. And it don't work out that way, you know. It's not gonna work out when only one person is investing in it. So I feel like that's what is keeping them in this Page of Pentacles energy, like real apprehensive. Like, the Page of Pentacles is a good person, they just move real slow. And I feel like it may have been you in that moving slow energy when they were trying to be the King of Staffs and come in and sweep you off your feet and really, you know, create something with you. But maybe you just weren't ready at the time. But I feel like now that you feel that you're ready, they are stuck with these kind of hurt feelings, you know. It could be like, I'm feeling like this could be like fire that you're dealing with because of the way that they wanted to kind of, you know, come in and take control and do things. That fire energy, Leo, Sagittarius, Aries energy for the person. If not, then they may be a water sign, because it's not, you know, it's not beyond a water sign to fall in love and drop everything, you know, at the drop of a dime for you. So it could be a water sign to Scorpio, Cancer, Pisces that you were talking to. And all of this energy here is them feeling like, well, this person hurt me. You know, I had such high hopes for us, wanted to build a home with you, wanted to make you happy, possibly even marry you, at the least have a commitment with you, go into something stable, claim you. But it's like, you were playing. Like, you know, you were playing. They needed help and you weren't giving them that. So when we get to this Death card down here, let's see. We have the Five of Coins. Five of Coins, is pretty much just what it looks like. It's like you kind of out in the desert alone, like you might be at the point of dying of thirst. It's like, I want you, gotta have you. Because you've experienced the loss of some sort. And the loss is in regards to this relationship, this bond that was between you and the other person. And that's where you kind of just really focused on that. Like, you may be having other options or opportunities with other people that are presented to you. And it's like, I don't even care about those things on the wall. I'm worried about this one. It's something about this one that I just need to inspect. I need to correct. Like, out of the other options that you may have, like in the background, you know, you may feel like they're nuisances, you know, like other people coming at you and you be like, I don't want you, I want him. You know, because you may start to realize with these other people that come up to you, they may be like immature, or they really ain't about nothing. They really don't have anything. Because the King of Staffs or the King of Wands, like, you know, this big time. That's big money. You know, walk the walk, talk the talk. That's who the King of Staffs is. The other ones may come in and they just have, you know, bullshit. They just want to sell you dreams and don't really have anything to offer at all. They just doing a lot of talking. Maybe even trying to play mind games, trying to manipulate you by telling you what you want to hear. So now you're looking at this one that you had, that one sword, that one deep cut, the one that got away. And you feel like it really was pure. Like the way he was coming at you really was pure. You weren't used to it. So you didn't really know how to handle it at the time. That could be it. Or you just could have been on your bullshit. You know, sometimes it happens. It happens. And you look back and realize, oh shit, maybe I shouldn't have played with that one. But for whatever reason, you're feeling a loss in regards to this relationship. Because you feel like maybe he cut you off and you want to rekindle that. You see, the loss is on the woman's side. The Four of Swords, that's on his side. Like wherever there was conflict in the relationship, you know, the other four that we have here in the cards is the Four of Swords. So this thing right here, this ideal that he had, that he wanted to build with you, and everything I'm saying, it could be vice versa, but you pretty much understand what energy I'm going with here. Everything that he wanted to build with you is like, that's what you're focusing on now. Because you're seeing, it's like, oh man, I messed that up. Like, I cut that shit all up. It's like he had a pretty picture and you used that sword to just... So now you're looking at the sword like, why did you do this? Like, don't be mad at the sword. Don't be looking at the sword like it's the sword's fault. Get your ass up and get in the mirror and wonder why you did it, you know? You may have said something that could have cut him down, and you just kind of thinking back on what it is that you said and realizing, yeah, I shouldn't have said that. Like, you know, I shouldn't have been so cold-blooded. But yeah, that's what we're dealing with here. And with this death card, like, I really feel like you might just have to take this on the chin. I'm not telling you that, you know, nothing will ever come from it, or this thing can never get back right, but I don't feel like it's gonna happen by the end of summer, by the 23rd of September, because this card was pulled for August 23rd through September 23rd. Or if the sun does set on this, because this is like the energy of something coming to an end. So if you are going through this and, you know, you're really feeling the loss in regards to this relationship, and you're kind of just thinking about, you know, feeling sorrowful, feeling sorrow about this matter, about this relationship that was kind of, you know, broken up, about the dream that they had for y'all two that maybe you weren't a willing participant in. If you really feel remorse about that, then the next steps that you need to take, you know, once you realize that, okay, I caused something to die, like this relationship has been dying because I wasn't putting anything into it. As the King of Staffs, he feels a lot of passion. Like, that's the highest level of passion that you can have in the Wands, you know, suit of the tarot. The King is the highest level of passion. So it may still be a couple of little drops there. It may still be a couple of drops there. But it's going to take some real transformation. Death being the Scorpio card associated with transformation. It's going to take a lot of transformation. A lot of things are going to have to change. Nothing can be the same as it was back when the relationship got messed up the first time. You can't take any of that with you into the revitalized or the revamped version, relationship 2.0. You can't take any of that mess with you. And that includes feeling, you know, the loss. or feeling like a loser. You're not going to be able to take that in with you either. Don't get me wrong. I do recommend, just like this queen, coming in and being 100% honest. You know, coming in and spilling your truth, laying it on the line, saying, look, I understand. I wasn't who you needed me to be when you needed me to be, but I'm here now. And do your best at building from there. Yeah, you are starting from, you know, ground zero, and it's going to take time to rebuild it back up. But you have to also be able to forgive yourself. Before you can expect somebody else to forgive you, you have to be able to forgive yourself. You cannot be hard on yourself. Because if you walk around with this energy of, I'm a loser and, you know, I don't deserve him. Okay, the things you did, you didn't deserve him at the time. That's why it didn't play out. That's why you're in this predicament now, you know, where it could have been this the first time around. It wasn't. Because he wasn't getting any assistance with building that. And yeah, it broke his heart. You'll see just how much it broke his heart. Because maybe he didn't show it. The King of Staff has a lot of ego. Maybe he didn't really show it. And you won't really know just how much it hurt him until he's looking at you, approaching him, looking at you like, man, what the fuck you want? Like he may address you in a way that you never thought he would address you, because he was so sweet to you the first time, because he was so passionate about you the first time that he was pursuing you. This time you might have to be somewhat of the pursuer to a point. Like I said, you can't just be carrying around guilt, because that's going to manifest in your physical. You have to heal yourself first. Don't feel like a loser. Because as long as you keep this energy feeling like a loser, I feel like he's going to have that energy of remembering how you tore up this. You know? Instead of just throwing that sword away and focusing on the other, you know, swords to be able to fight through this. I feel like as long as you are in the energy of, I lost him and I don't know if I'll ever be able to get over him. You know, what did I do? As long as you're in that energy, like that distressed, desperate energy, then I feel like it's going to manifest as him continuing to focus on where you went wrong. Rather than if you know, came through with, you know, the Taurus 2.0, we let that old part of us go ahead and just set and let that be in the past. Then I feel like he can start back falling in love with who he, or being passionate about who he was passionate about the first time. Like you have to get back to reminding him of why he fell for you in the first place. You know, all of this I just said, like I said, it could be flipped on the flip side. He is doing all of this, feeling like he lost you, going through this mental anguish. You know, feeling like I should have did right the first time. She wanted us to be happy and be together the first time, and I wasn't doing my part to help her. So now I got to jump through hoops and have a real slow start and deal with small victories. A small victory being you even answering one of his texts. That's a small victory. That's how slow this thing gonna move. Because you can't just, you know, push reset and get it back to this. There's too much pain behind it. You'll have to do some work here. And we'll have to let some things go, internally and externally, in order for there to be a complete revitalization of this relationship. I keep saying all these revamps, revitalize, revisions, and all of that. I know it's a retrograde coming up some point in this summer. So that's going to be that. Revisiting. Reconciliation, revitalization, reviews, all those rewords. You going over something, going back to something, seeing if you can make it better, rebuilding. I feel like that's going to be a lot of what your summer is involving here. Yeah, staff, staff, sword, sword. It's very little energy other than swords and staffs. Very little. And the only clarifier card that is a major arcana is the Lovers. So that's why I feel like this whole thing is centered around a relationship. Like that's going to be a big focus for you this summer, this relationship. The decisions that you made in the relationship, the consequences of those decisions in this relationship. And just trying to see how you can meet this person halfway this time. This relationship is definitely under review for summer 2018, Taurus. And I wish you the best of luck. Just remember what I said about, you know, forgiving yourself and finding that part of you, embodying that person who he or she fell in love with the first time. I think that's going to be your biggest challenge. Getting out of that headspace of, damn, I did wrong. You know, because in the first start of the summer, you have that Queen of Swords energy where you're just being honest with yourself. Like, okay, be honest with yourself. Also be honest with him. And then embody the energy of forgiveness. If you can truly forgive yourself, you open up the gates for somebody else to forgive you. But don't try to sugarcoat what you did. Don't try to cower away from what you did. Be honest about that. And I do see that being, you know, something that you come in, you go back to him with. Because we have that Queen of Swords charging in. You know, this truthful, honest, laying it out on the line, stubborn in her mentality. You know, maybe you were stubborn the first time around when he was trying to come after you, but now you've had some time apart and you want to come back to him, and now you're stubborn about getting him. When a Taurus makes up their mind, they make up their mind. So you serious about that thing. If it's the reverse, he's serious about that thing. You get what I'm saying? Well, yeah, it's a lot of energy of like memories, mind games, conflicts, you know, past issues, and a mixture of that, the swords energy and staffs, which is like, or wands, you know, fire, energy, passion, drive. So you're gonna have to battle with that. It's like really a mental thing here. I don't recommend playing any mental games at all. Really just need to make sure that your mental is healthy when you go back to this person, and that you being just 100 with them. Truth is gonna be, you know, your most valuable currency with this person, just telling the truth. And I wish y'all the best. I most certainly do. All right. Like and subscribe. I hope to see y'all in the next reading. Check out the description box. I finally went ahead and created my little spiel about readings and whatnot. So take a gander at that, and I'll see y'all next time. Bye.